Imagine leaving everything behind, your family, your friends, and even the planet itself, to float in the infinite darkness of space. Imagine waking up every 90 minutes to a sunrise, seeing the entire world beneath you in a single glance, and knowing that only a handful of people in history have ever experienced what you're witnessing. This is the life of Sunita Williams, a true space pioneer, a record-breaking astronaut, and a fearless explorer who has spent over 322 days beyond Earth, completed 7 spacewalks, and is now preparing to pilot Boeing's Starliner spacecraft, marking the beginning of a new era in human spaceflight. But how did a young girl from a small town in the US rise to become one of the most accomplished astronauts in the world? What drove her to defy gravity and push the boundaries of human exploration? Buckle up, because the story of Sunita Williams is nothing short of extraordinary. Born on September 19, 1965, in Euclid, Ohio, Sunita Williams was raised in Needham, Massachusetts, in a family that blended Indian and Slovenian heritage. Growing up, she was energetic, adventurous, and always curious about the world around her. But if you asked young Sunita what she wanted to be when she grew up, she wouldn't have said an astronaut. In fact, she once dreamed of becoming a veterinarian, fascinated by animals and nature. But life, as always, had other plans. Sunita's journey to the stars began in a place she least expected, the ocean. She attended the U.S. Naval Academy, where she trained as a helicopter pilot, flying high-risk missions over the Mediterranean Sea and the Persian Gulf. She learned discipline, resilience, and leadership, qualities that would later make her one of NASA's finest astronauts. But even after soaring through the skies, she realized she wanted more. She wanted to go beyond Earth itself. She decided to push her limits even further by becoming a test pilot, one of the most dangerous and demanding jobs in aviation, where pilots fly experimental aircraft at extreme speeds and altitudes. It was here that she truly fell in love with the idea of space exploration. And then, in 1998, she got the call of a lifetime. NASA had selected her as an astronaut. The road from pilot to astronaut was grueling. Sunita had to undergo intensive training, learning how to survive in the harshest conditions imaginable. She trained underwater for spacewalk simulations, spent weeks in wilderness survival programs, learned to operate robotic arms, and even became fluent in Russian to communicate with international crew members. But all the hard work paid off. After years of relentless preparation, her moment finally arrived. In December 2006, Sunita Williams blasted off from Kennedy Space Center aboard Space Shuttle Discovery on her first space mission, Expedition 1415. The destination? The International Space Station, ISS, a massive orbiting laboratory where astronauts live and conduct groundbreaking research. For the next 195 days, she lived in zero gravity, floating effortlessly as she worked on scientific experiments that could one day help humans survive on the Moon, Mars, and beyond. But Sunita was never one to just follow the routine. She made history in a way that no one had ever done before. While thousands of people ran the Boston Marathon on Earth, Sunita ran the same 42-kilometer race in space, strapped to a treadmill aboard the ISS. With her body adapting to microgravity, her muscles weakening without Earth's pull, and her mind adjusting to an environment where nothing stays in place, she proved that nothing is impossible if you have the willpower to achieve it. But running in space wasn't the most daring thing she did. Sunita also became a spacewalker, stepping outside the ISS 7 times and spending over 50 hours floating in the vacuum of space. She repaired essential equipment, installed solar panels, and worked on critical systems, all while tethered to the spacecraft with nothing but the infinite blackness of the universe surrounding her. Every movement had to be precise, every second outside the station was a matter of life and death. One mistake, and she could drift off into space forever. But Sunita handled every challenge with calm determination. She wasn't just surviving in space, she was thriving. In 2012, she returned to space for Expedition 3233, this time as the commander of the ISS, one of the highest honors an astronaut can receive. She became only the second woman in history to command the space station, leading a crew in critical research, monitoring spacecraft operations, and proving that women can take on leadership roles even in the most extreme environments imaginable. She once again performed daring spacewalks, maintained complex space station systems, and worked on groundbreaking experiments that would help future astronauts venture farther into space. By the end of her 2 missions, Sunita Williams had spent more time spacewalking than any other woman in history at that time and had become one of the most accomplished astronauts in the world. But she wasn't done yet. Even after achieving so much, Sunita Williams is still reaching for the stars. In 2024, she is set to pilot the Boeing CST-100 Starliner, a state-of-the-art spacecraft designed for the future of space travel. This mission is expected to pave the way for commercial spaceflight, opening doors for astronauts, researchers, and even space tourists to one day travel to low Earth orbit and beyond. This could be the first step toward establishing permanent human settlements on the Moon, Mars, and even farther into deep space. From a young girl who once wanted to work with animals to a space commander shaping the future of human exploration, Sunita Williams is living proof that the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Her journey is an inspiration to millions around the world, especially to young women and aspiring astronauts who dare to dream beyond what seems possible. She has shattered barriers, rewritten history, and shown us that if you push yourself beyond the impossible, you can defy gravity itself. Sunita Williams has redefined human potential, proving that with passion, perseverance, and courage, there are no limits to what we can achieve. She is not just an astronaut, she is a symbol of human determination, a true explorer of the unknown, and a role model for future generations. And perhaps, she has inspired you to chase your dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. If you are amazed by Sunita Williams' journey, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more incredible space stories. Who knows? Maybe you will be the next great astronaut, and maybe one day, you will touch the stars.